We're gonna try to make cake batter ice cream in an ice cream ball with my nieces and nephews. The first step is to prepare our flavoring, and to flavor our cake batter ice cream, we're gonna use actual yellow cake mix. But since cake mix has uncooked flour in it, there's possibility it could have harmful bacteria in it. So what we need to do is heat up our cake mix to 350 degrees for 10 minutes to cook all the bacteria and kill it so it's safe to eat without baking a cake. Make sure you double check that there's nothing inside your oven before you turn it on and begin preheating. Sometimes my dad likes to store extra pans in there. In any kind of oven safe dish, dump out your cake mix and spread it evenly. This part was fun for the kids. I just let them shake it back and forth until all of the giant mounds of cake mix flattened out. Make sure you throw away the plastic bag for the cake mix, but you recycle the box. Since I don't live with my family in Michigan, I wasn't able to celebrate my birthday with them, but my nephew's birthday's this weekend and my niece's birthday's in a few weeks, so my parents got a cake so we can celebrate all three of our birthdays together. The only problem is it doesn't have any of our names on it, so let's fix that. I wasn't paying attention and I bought the wrong kind of frosting, and I also cut the tip way too big. So our happy looks really blobby, but I know exactly how to fix it. We're getting my mom's old cake tackle box out and we're going to use some of her tools. First, we need a piping bag and a small writing tip. I made sure not to cut too big of a piece off this time, and now we're going to slide in our writing tip. Personally, I like 3, 4s, and 5s. Anything smaller or bigger just looks off to me, but 3, 4, and 5 are my favorite numbers to write with. If you didn't know, each cake decorating tip has a number that tells you what it looks like and what size it is. Now that our oven is preheated to 350, we're gonna throw our cake mix in there. Be very careful that you do not burn yourself on the oven, please. Then we're also gonna set a 10-minute timer so that our cake mix gets baked and kills all of the bad germs inside. Most people think you can't eat uncooked cookie dough or cake batter because of the eggs in it, but you're more likely to get sick from the flour than the eggs. Now let's transfer our red frosting to this new bag. I'm gonna have Adley help me here. She's just gonna keep squeezing it down. We don't need all of it, just enough to write happy birthday in our name. I probably should have scraped off happy, but this is just for my family, so I left the blobby happy, and now you're gonna see a huge difference between the perfect birthday. Like I said, this is the wrong frosting, so this will still kind of fall a little bit as well, but it'll look way better than what happy looks like. There was way too much frosting that came out for that. Since we still have time waiting for this cake mix to bake, I'm gonna have the kids participate in a little extra decorating. Since there's already sprinkles and squiggles everywhere, I figured we can add a little string confetti. It's a fun and easy little decorating thing that kids can help out with, and if it looks bad, it's okay because confetti always kind of looks funny. It's also okay to let people have fun and not do things perfectly all the time. I'm gonna do one last stripe of crazy confetti all the way around the bottom because I feel like it'll tie it all together and there's nothing down there. All growing up, my mom used to make all of our birthday cakes, and I used to look forward to it every year. We probably would have made our own cake again this year, but my mom wanted me to enjoy my vacation. But by far, my favorite part about my mom decorating cakes at home was at the very end, she would squirt the leftover frosting into our mouths, and it was my favorite thing. Now that our cake is finally done, we're gonna toss it back into the fridge and then grab out our cake batter that's been baking. Once again, the oven is very hot. We set it to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. That means it is very warm. You can definitely get burned. So please use protection and be very careful. If you want to bake your cake mix without using the oven, you actually can do it in the microwave as well. You just want to put it in a few minutes at a time, stirring it up. Make sure that you do it for at least probably 10 minutes. Once your cake mix has cooled down and is no longer hot to the touch, you can go ahead and start making your ice cream. I think all of the kids were more excited to eat some of the powder from the cake mix rather than the ice cream in the end. Since we did bake it, it is safe to do this, so make sure you pass it around the room so all the little chickens can pluck a little bit of the cake mix. You might remember, but this is our 4th time doing this. If you have not watched the other videos, please check them out. We do it about once every summer, and if you watch each time, the kids look completely different since the first one. They've definitely grown up a ton. All right, let's finally make your ice cream. First, you're gonna grab a bowl and dump in your entire container of heavy whipping cream. Then you want to add in about a cup of your cake mix. I'm not adding any additional sweetener than what comes in the cake mix already, but if you want a sweeter ice cream, you can add more sugar. If you want more flavors in it, you can add other flavorings and extracts. we're going to go ahead and add a little bit of vanilla extract to ours. Once everything's combined, add it to the ice cream side of your ice cream ball. If you're unsure, it is the smaller side that looks like this. It should fill almost to the very top. Also, be aware of these kids and their fingers. They want to eat everything. Now make sure you screw the lid on super tight because we're going to be playing a lot of crazy games in just a few moments. These kids are already a mess and we haven't even started making the ice cream yet. Once you've filled the ice cream side of your ball, flip it over and then open the ice side. We're going to fill it up with a bunch of ice and then alternating between ice and salt until it's completely full. The salt melts the ice while also making it even colder. If you want to hear more details, watch one of my past videos. I explain it in way more detail. But this is what's going to power our ball to make it super cold on the inside. So as we play with it, the ice cream is going to form on the other side. And if you want to try this but you don't have an ice cream ball, you also can use plastic bags. If you fill a gallon-sized bag with ice and salt and then a smaller bag with your ice cream mixture inside and you slosh it around and play with it, just like we're about to do with this ball, you'll actually make ice cream inside the smaller bag. Just make sure they're sealed really tight so you don't get any salt in your ice cream. Now it's time to play. You'll learn really quick which games work and which games don't work. The ball is pretty heavy and it can definitely take a couple drops, but you don't want to drop it a ton because it could break. Adley is so much smaller than everyone else, so we could throw the ball and catch the ball, but Adley was struggling just a little bit because it is kind of heavy. So if your group has smaller kids, I recommend just passing the ball like this. You can play hot potato. That's by far their favorite game to play like this. It's easy yet competitive and people don't get too upset when they lose, which for me usually means less fights and more fun, which is a game I'm always thankful to play. You might have to get creative with it because you do need to play with the ball for about 30 to 40 minutes. So if they get bored of hot potato, try to figure out something else. We decided to roll it with our feet. This was more fun than trying to roll with your hands because, like I said, for smaller kids, it is kind of heavy. You don't need to clean the ball before you open it, but I definitely suggest cleaning it, especially if you have dogs. Use soap and water because you don't know what could be in that grass. I also recommend not dumping out the ice side until you've looked at your ice cream and make sure it's frozen, because if you open it up too early and dump all the ice out and your ice cream's not finished, then you have to add more ice and more salt and restart the process. It may look a little soft in the middle, but I think this is a perfect place to stop because if you keep going, it'll get way too hard. This is probably perfect in my opinion. The first few scoops are pretty easy if you use a scooper like this and go around, but the next few get kind of hard because the edge is a little sharp and your hand has to rub against it. So I definitely recommend helping kids out when it comes to scooping it. I've also shown in other videos that if you actually dump all the ice out and warm up the metal with some hot water, you can pop the whole chunk of ice cream out and you won't have to scoop it. Now it's time for the taste test.
I like it.
It tastes like cake batter ice cream.
Just like cinnamon.
For some reason, it really did taste like cinnamon, and I think it might be from baking the cake mix. I've never tried that before, but I'll have to test it out again and get back to you because for some reason it really did taste more like a cinnamon roll than it did cake batter. As you can see, my nephew Oakley did not like it at all. He's more of a chocolate boy and he was not enjoying cake batter. Oakley, how do you rate it?
Not good.
How many out of 10?
4.
4? What do you think of it?
I don't like it.
1 out of 10. I give it a 6.
Adley.
I give it a 9.
I give it an 8.
I give it an 8.
I give it probably like an 8 or a 9. I feel like we could make it a little better, but...
Or like a 6, 7.
What's up?
A what?
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. I've got none.
No, I think Adley got them all. Would you guys make it again?
I would only do it for the funness, like roll the background.
I wouldn't because it tastes too much like cake batter and cinnamon.
If you made it to the end, comment a chicken emoji down below. And if you want to see the loop, hit the replay button now.